might not know me, but I'm very long-winded. I am that favorite son-in-law of Fernando's. First off, I'm the only son-in-law, just so you know. First off, love all of you for coming out and celebrating Fernando's life. He's an amazing man, amazing father-in-law. Just amazing. I was about 20 when I met Fernando, over half of my life. I had the privilege of spending so much time with him. Never once as a son-in-law did we ever get in a fight. Not saying that we didn't agree about everything or disagree, but we never had one fight. 25 plus years ago, I started dating Fernando's daughter, Brooke, who was very protective of her. She was his only daughter. He was never threatening, however, he had a way of letting us know without saying it, if you mess with my daughter, you will have a small army to hunt you down, and you'll never know what hit you. Right, Merritt? Truth be known, it wasn't Fernando I was scared of. It was Robin. She's the one that punched me and called me an SOB that I proposed to Brooke. Fernando and I joked around a lot. I remember the night of our wedding, and maybe this is good or this is bad. Some of you probably were there in celebration at their house. Leaflings, I know you were there. And I called Fernando asking him where the keys to Brooke's chastity belt were. I gave Brooke the keys a minute ago where I'd be holding them up in the air. Fernando had several passions. He enjoyed restoring cars, from his 1976 Chevy Stepside that he did for Travis to the 1963 Volkswagen Bug he did for Kylie, or his 1950 Super 8 Buick. He also drove his favorite 1967 Camaro that he never restored. However, I had heard many stories of different parts he collected to put on it. He also had a passion for riding bikes with his close friends. Many of you know who they are because you rode with him. He looked forward to the long summer months where he could go and take a ride with his dear friends Bob and Denise and others down to Laughlin, Nevada, or up to Milan to buy a lottery ticket. There were so many great times and memories for him. He enjoyed planting flowers and gardening. He was always trying to give away all his vegetables that he planted in his garden behind his garage. Kylie, my youngest daughter, would go out there with Fernando and pick all the tomatoes. He thoroughly loved petunias, cannon lilies, and geraniums. He would line up his flower beds with 3 times as many as he needed, and they would grow so fast they overgrew the driveway that he proceeded to yell at me every time I drove on him. Fernando's dear friend Bob started this tradition with the cannon lilies. And many of you in this room favored for that, because every year when they multiplied, he would turn around and give them away and pass it forward. Fernando was a hardworking man. He worked for Holiday Trucking for 25 years. In all the years I've known Fernando, he was extremely dedicated to his job. He had his priorities right in life. He was able to balance both work and family. If his family needed him, he would just go to work early and forego his sleep, but he was always there for his family, hands down. He loved being a gas man. And if we had time, I would love to play it, but I encourage you to go out and look at it. In 2016, Kmart had a advertising campaign for their fuel rewards. Has anyone seen it? Please tell me. Dave, you've seen it. In there, they're talking about how cheap their prices are on gas. And they did a real big play on words. They said he was a big gas man. And he drove a big gas truck. Anyways, I encourage you to go out and see it. It's called Shop with Rewards by Kmart. It's really funny, and it really just made me think of Fernando. One year, Brooke and I were out of town, and Ferd came over to shovel our driveways. So when we returned, it would be clear snow. The one thing Fernando didn't know was I had an extension cord that went from my house to the flower bed. And he went over and he used my big snow blower. He went across that extension cord, and if you could just picture it now, all the lights ripping off my house as an auger just starts ripping them from the house. He was afraid to tell me when we were going home because he wasn't sure how I was going to react. Steve said it well. He would do anything at the drop of a hat for anyone. He would give you the shirt off his back. He was the example of paying it forward. He would offer his time and work to others before his own house projects. Ferd was a handyman. He could fix anything. And if he couldn't fix it, he would Google it. Or he would ask his great friend Jeff or Bob how to do it. If anyone had car issues in the family, it didn't matter if it was brakes, alternators, regardless of what it was, he was always willing to fix it without any money in return. He would do this at a drop of a dime and never ask anyone to give him a cent. Just recently, Brooke had car problems, and she took her car in, and while the car was in the shop, they told her it needed new brakes. At that time, she was in a hurry. The next day, Fernando was there, already putting brakes on her car. Our personal mechanic will be missed in the family. Another story of Fernando's great service is when Brooke and I lived in our other house, and it was on a Sunday, and Fernando came over with Bob Leafling to help us fix a broken main sprinkler line. The funniest part of the story is not just Fernando's service, it was really the fact that one of our neighbors, who is a bishop, came over to help on a Sunday to lend a hand and pay his service. Brooke went out and got us all drinks, and Bob and Fernando ordered a Jack and Coke, and the bishop ordered a Coke and said, "Didn't say anything." Truth be known, guess who got the Jack and Coke? The bishop. My dad was always impressed with the things I could do being handy. He always asked me, "Where did you learn that?" Because I didn't teach you that. My dad taught me the business side of it, and Fernando taught me everything else, especially when it comes to fixing things and doing things. Back in the day when I was a little younger and I was a little quicker, Fernando and I were building this shed, and I was always gung-ho and in a hurry, and he'd always say, "Bucky, slow down." By the way, he called me Bucky, for if you don't know. He always told me, "Slow down, you're working too fast. Slow down. It's not about how fast we get it done, it's about how accurate we get it done." Well, through the years, Fernando got just the opposite. He started to get a little sloppy on things, and he started to do things a lot faster than he should. And I had to look at him and say, "Hey, Bucky, we need to slow down. We need to do it right." Fernando surely fulfilled his life of service. Fernando was always jovial, charismatic. He also desired the life to live to the fullest. Fernando liked his Jack and Coke and PBR. I always got a kick out of Robin when she'd ask him, "Fernando, how many drinks have you had?" What would he say, Robin? Two. Didn't matter if he had 12 or 2, it was always 2, but always in control. Fernando had many nicknames for our family. That's the one thing I came in here and I don't think mine fell. I know I had a nickname growing up, but I never had one that I really liked until he started calling me Bucky. He always called Robin Lulu. Always called Brooke Broccoli. He always called Travis Rara. Michaela Monkey. Kylie Bugs. Bronson Greenleaf. His middle name's Kale. Jeff wasn't just Jeff, it was Cowboy Jeff. Denise was Bernice. Bob wasn't just Bob, it was Cowboy Bob. Kind of unique because they both wear hats, cowboy hats. Dewey was John, and the funny thing is John was his real name and Dewey's his nickname. He just called him the opposite. Stacy was Spacey. Troy was Elroy. Connie was Constance Renee. Chris was Towhead. His wife was Toenail. And Carissa was Toadette. And there again, I was Bucky. He even named his cars His Volkswagen, he called it Volksy. The Buick was called Old Blue. He had some great sayings. He used to like to barbecue, and sometimes it either wasn't cooked or it was overcooked. And when it was overcooked, he said it's better than fried, it's burnt. When someone left the lights on, he would go through and say, Utah Power and Light column, turn some damn lights off. I'd pull up in my black car and he'd say, black is a nice color when it's clean. When someone brought a receipt, when we were paying the bill after we went and ate, he would always tell them, I'm sorry, we're not staying for the drawing. And the waitress would just look at him like, huh? And my favorite one of all, whiskey tastes better at your house because it's free. One thing that we'll truly miss is him singing Happy Birthday. He always started the birthday song for everyone's birthday. And on every anniversary, he would sing, Happy Anniversary, Happy Anniversary. With that being said, this past weekend we truly missed both of those. Travis celebrated his 40th birthday. Brooke and I celebrated our 23rd anniversary yesterday. And Robin's going to miss it when she celebrates her 60th birthday coming up on April 11th. Yes, Robin, you're 60. Happy birthday, Robin! Told you I was a favorite son-in-law. He would like to mess her and pester me all. He liked to mess with me and pester me all the time. He knows how OCD I am. I have to have my faucet straight. The handle has to match in the center of the sink. And I know Fernando was there because after he left, the faucets were this way. It drove me crazy. He also told me when we were out to dinner and my phone would ring and I'd be texting or I'd do something, he goes, hey Bucky, when are you going to be off of work? Really hit home though. He had a great sense of humor. Just recently, we were at our house for dinner and we just remodeled our house, and so we have quite a few picture frames that don't have any pictures in them yet because I'm an OCD anal one that I have to have everything right before I put everything away. Anyways, we have some empty picture frames, and Fernando thinks he's so funny. He went out and took his wallet out and pulled a picture of Bronson, his grandson, and stuck it in the picture frame to want to see how long it took someone to notice. The funny thing is, 2 weeks later, he put another one in there. We noticed, trust me. He loved being a kid again. He really enjoyed the 4th of July, the fireworks show we always put on. He loved the light bottle rockets, but it did not make Robin mad. M80s were the best. He really liked things that were loud, like fireworks and Harleys and big dogs. Ferd liked the Utah Jazz and barely missed a game. He loved talking to Merritt every time the Jazz were on. He'd also love to watch movies with Robin and the family. There was a time or two, or most often, when Ferd and I would fall asleep on the couch watching movies. When the movie was over, Ferd would wake up and say, man, that movie sucks. He would fall asleep with his mouth wide open like a Venus flytrap. We'd turn around and take pictures of one another and send them to everyone in the family. And some of them have been posted out there on Facebook. He liked to watch the Meekum car auction. He knew every car that was up for sale. He liked reality shows like Rick's Restoration, Gas Monkey, and surprisingly enough, 60 Minutes every Sunday. Fernando liked to go to Vegas. We started a tradition several years back where we would go to Vegas every year for New Year and spend time with our immediate family. Such great memories. He would get into the pool and play with the girls like he was 12 again. He would go over to the casino in the mornings and bring back as many dollar Bloody Marys as he possibly could hold. He would go to the movies. He would go bowling. He'd walk the strip. He would shop. He would play bingo. And Robin and him would stay out late gambling at the casinos. And trust me, Robin won. Fernando never won. I'm almost done. 2 pages to go. Fernando was one of the loving, nicest men I met. Robin and Ferd have been together for 48 years. They've been together since she was 12 years old. Their love for one another allowed them to break all odds. They were elementary school sweethearts. Fernando would put gas in Robin's car every weekend and wash it just to make sure she was ready for what the next week brought. He had a great love for Robin. Just recently, he drove to her work and left a rose under her windshield wiper. Small little things like this were huge indicators of his love for her. Fernando was very protective of his family. One year, Travis wanted some ice cream. And he went out to the ice cream man. The ice cream man started using profanity to Travis. And Travis walked away with no ice cream because he asked for something that they didn't have, and the guy was dropping the F-bomb. Travis went home crying, and Fernando didn't like that, so Fernando chased him down 2 blocks away. And from what I understand, he went and slapped the guy and told him, if you can't deal with children, maybe you should go find a new job and not sell ice cream. He spent a lot of time with his grandkids. He would take Kylie to the dog wash and bath Cash, his beloved dog, every summer. He would take Kylie to Cowboy Jeff's house to ride the mules. He would go and sit through Michaela and Kylie's long dance recitals. He would go to Michaela's soccer games. He'd pick up Kylie from school in the Volkswagen, Cash in the back. Brooke and I were talking about moving last fall. And we weren't going to move far, but we were going to move further than 3 blocks where we currently live now. Fernando didn't like that. It really upset him. He convinced us not to move. We just remodeled our house. For the last 3 years, Fernando's been begging me to put in a swimming pool because his passion for swimming and the girls playing in the water. And we put in a swimming pool this past fall, and Fernando told me he would be our pool boy, that I would never have to do any maintenance on it. And I'm sure many of you heard about the pool, and he was very proud of it. And unfortunately, he never got a chance to dip his toe in, even though I offered Saturday when he was over. I said, Ferd, I'll open the cover, you want to get in? He said, hell no, it's too cold. We'd spent a lot of time together with the family and friends, Jeff and Sharon Sweeney. From summer barbecues, eating out, to Taco Thursday, religiously every week. We started our home remodel this past September, and we were without a kitchen. Our family actually grew very close over this time. We didn't have a kitchen, and we'd go to Rob and Fernando's every night and eat dinner. Then when we got our kitchen back together, it was about 2 weeks where Brooke and I and the girls didn't go over, and Fernando was deeply saddened and really liked to spend the time with us, so we actually started eating dinner with them every night. We alternated houses. We'd eat at our house, their house, our house, our house, their house. And then we had Taco Thursday, and then usually we go out to dinner. Our family has an extremely tight bond, and that's not going to stop. He was like a second father to me. I have lived a quarter of my life without my dad, who passed away the same month 11 years ago. I've had a pleasure knowing Fernando over half my life, and have greatly benefited from that, and has made me a stronger man. His strong love for his wife, Robin, daughter Brooke, son Travis, his grandkids, Bronson, Kylie, and Michaela, was very evident. We will always hold those close times dear to our heart. Ferd paid it forward to many people in this room, and I ask of you to pay it forward to Robin over this next trying time. Thank you.